some news came out this week about some things happening. For one, the Detroit Lions have been picked as the team to be featured on Hard Knocks. Fun fact, this is Jared Goff's third time on Hard Knocks. In 2016 and in 2019, both times the Rams missed the playoffs. 2016 was his rookie year, though, to be fair. But now, his third time, 2022, the Detroit Lions, he's on Hard Knocks again.
So they had the St. Louis Rams on 2016.
That might have been their first year.
Might have been the first year in LA.
I think it was their first year in LA.
Are you sure him as a rookie? He wasn't in LA. They recently changed to LA.
No. They changed their uniforms.
You're right.
They didn't change.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was one of the talking points.
So, but then why did they do LA and LA? Seems like so close.
Like 2 years ago?
You know what I'm saying? Like
that was their first time ever doing two teams.
I enjoyed that. The LA was a great 5 episodes.
Jared Goff, he posted on his Instagram the picture of the Hard Knocks with the song Eminem Without Me.
Okay, yeah. That's hard.
So he did that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the Lions make the playoffs and shock all of us, right? Maybe.
No way in hell.
But, I mean, I think I can speak for all of us.
Wait, bro, but you were just on a podcast.
Oh, yeah, you were going to talk about that.
Where you said that if the Lions beat the Jets,
do we play them this year?
You're done with the Jets?
Yeah, we do play them this year. They asked me who's going to win. I was like, the Jets. And then, they were trying to, like, counter it, and I was like, well, if they don't win, I'm not a Jets fan. I promise you I won't be. We have to be.
We have to like smoke them.
Didn't you guys almost lose to the Jags this past season?
Yeah.
So I'm saying
we
almost lost.
We almost did.
We also beat the Bengals, beat the Titans.
On to the Lions. I think I can speak for all of us when we say the draw in here is Dan Campbell, and that's why they got the Hard Knocks thing. It wasn't even between many teams. The teams that were eligible for it were the Panthers and the Jets. The Panthers, I mean, I don't even think they want to be shown on camera. Everybody might be fired. I think the Jets would have been the best selection. But let's let the Lions fans have their moments, right?
Unbiased,
so the positives about it, Dan Campbell, they have a pretty good receiving room, young players.
DeAndre Swift, we get to see.
Yeah, and Jared Goff, third time's the charm.
Another player who I'm excited to see is Jeff Okudah. He's had a struggle up until this point in his career, really been unfortunate. Was put into a Lions situation where year one, they're not good. Year two, he ends up getting hurt. I might have that backwards, one of the two. And then now this year is where he finally is going to get his full chance to be healthy, really compete or try to compete at the highest level that he was drafted to compete at. I'm really rooting for him, and I'm going to be I'm very much so looking forward to seeing him in Hard Knocks.
And they also have the number 2 overall pick. So whoever that rookie is, I mean, Malik Willis, there's been, hype around him going there. That would change the whole aspect of the show if they're able to get Malik Willis. That makes it very interesting.
Do you think they reach in the draft to make the Hard Knocks more entertaining?
Do you think they take Malik at 2?
No. There's been rumors and reports going around, but that's just this time of the year. Quarterbacks are going to rise. There's nothing else to talk about, so it's going to happen.
Listen,
but to do it because of Hard Knocks, that would be Detroit Lion-esque, right?
I think,
but no,
I think that they could just lose one more season and try and get themselves in a position to get Bryce.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they're going to take Malik.
Like Goff is fine.
Goff is serviceable as hell. He's so serviceable.
He's as good as Tua.
And
statistically, he wasn't bad last year.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
Yeah, he was pretty average.
But that's what I say. He showed that he was pretty average, and he was bad enough that you still were in a position to have the number 2 pick overall. That's the crib.
Beautiful.
That's the crib.
Yeah, and they were competitive too. We talked about them a lot this past season.
Yeah, the worst best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Another highlight's going to be watching their offensive line. Believe it or not, you really don't look forward to.
Their offensive line is great.
It's fantastic.
Penei Sewell.
And they might draft another O-lineman. Who knows? But I don't think they need that.
We're talking about the Lions and some positive, some bright spots. But what do you guys think about them being featured on Hard Knocks? And what do you think about the rule also that you can't have a first-year head coach and there's a bunch of limitations.
There's a lot.
He must have known that I was going to say this because Lord knows I hate that rule because I'm going to sound super biased, but you could have easily had the Broncos and fans would have been itching to watch that every single Tuesday. You could have had Miami on, who people are dying to hear more from Mike McDaniel. They just got Tyreek Hill. These are 2 squads that fans would love to see televised, especially get to get a sense of their personalities as well. So that rule, in my opinion, I don't like it, but I understand it. You don't want to put a first-year coach in a position where he has cameras in his face. He has another thing to worry about that on top of player personnel, trying to get acquainted with team chemistry and everything. So I understand the rule, yes. However, I don't like it because I want to see these guys who we are all looking forward to televised.
Yeah, from a fan's perspective, I hate the rule. I think having as many teams as possible and being able to show off as many good players as possible with the good quarterbacks and the entertaining coaches like Mike McDaniel would be amazing to watch
100%.
every Tuesday. He's just such a character.
Did you see in the coaches thing in the reunion, he was wearing a tank top?
Yeah, he's so real. Like he's just
awesome.
such like
He looks like he's from Miami.
He's such a
That's a
dude's
Miami
dude,
thing to
like
do.
he's just such a
Coach of the year.
If you saw him,
Early
you'd think he
candidate.
worked at Best Buy or something. Like he's just such a normal looking guy, but he's just a football genius. But yeah, I don't like the rule, but I understand it. Especially if you're first time head coach, you're just learning. You're learning on the job. You're learning how to become a head coach, how to form relationships with players, other coaches, ownership, management, and I'm sure that most coaches and most teams don't even want to be on Hard Knocks just because it brings in so much, so much access to your team in the locker room where you have a lot more privacy. Now, a lot more teams are doing more individual kind of Hard Knock style stuff like the Jets do their
Jets
their
Drive.
one jet, their Jets Drive, and a few other teams. I know the Colts do it. All the teams might do it at this point.
Colts were the midseason Hard Knocks this year, and
I wonder if they're gonna run that back,
choked
too.
it.
I
hope
think
so.
they'll definitely be
I hope
a
so.
midseason Hard Knocks again.
Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed it, especially because Jonathan Taylor was having such a good season.
That was really cool to see them praise him the way that they did. That was lit.
and he was just so humble. He wasn't even smiling. He was like,
As they're reading off how he had one of
just
the
breaking every
craziest
record
weeks
known to
ever.
man.
We know that the NFC North has gotten weaker because the Packers traded Devontae Adams. I mean, we gave our Jets prediction earlier on in the show. I mean, how many wins do you think the Lions can get?
They're in a much weaker conference. I mean, the NFC, you don't have many elite teams like the AFC. Like Detroit could win 6 games.
They had 2 wins last season.
Yes.
6 might be a little rough. Maybe like 4
I'm
or
gonna
5.
actually say 4 to 5 seems reasonable.
6 might be a little too.
It's like they were competitive in a few games last year that just did not break the way that they
the
wanted.
Steelers game they tied.
You guys know me. I've called them the worst, best team I've ever seen. I think they can rally up 6 wins.
I think that's their ceiling is 6 wins.
I think that I'd pick them to be better than the Bears this season.
I need the
Bears
Lions.
might be in last place in that division.
The Bears have just done nothing. They sat on their hands and said we're not going to make any
It's
moves.
a shame that Bears fans have been in the comments asking us to talk about the Bears, and this is the first time we're talking about
We have
them,
nothing to
and we're
talk
saying
about.
that they're the worst team
Yeah,
in the
what
lost
is
league.
there
James
to talk
Daniels.
about?
Yeah.
Unfortunately true. I
They're-
don't
It's
they're-
not
disagree.
James Daniels.
Their wide receiver too is Equanimous St. Brown.
But throw some respect on Mooney. D-Money.
Oh,
Come
no,
on.
I love Darnell Mooney. Don't get me wrong. But when your wide receiver 2
Agreed.
is...
Listen, you're not...
and the
you're
wide
not
receiver
to tell
3
me.
is Byron Pringle, it's going to be a rough season.
I'm really high on the Detroit Lions. I love their offensive line. I like their weapons.
Wild card?
Jared Goff is a serviceable quarterback. I think he's actually falling into that underrated category now.
No.
People think he's complete trash and garbage.
I don't disagree. I also,
Come on now.
he's not garbage, bro.
He's not... I don't... Listen, you're
People
right.
think
Jared
like
Goff is
he's
not
like Taylor
garbage.
Heineke's
You're
better.
right. He is...
Jared Goff, I mean, he's a quarterback that can take you to the Super Bowl if everything around him goes right.
If you have top 5 head coach in offense.
Like, he's that type of quarterback.
And then they missed the playoffs the next season after that?
They did.
Interesting.
9-7.
Wow. Missed the playoffs after going to the Super Bowl.
I mean, it happens.
Mostly
it's a thing.
because of Jared Goff's ill-advised
But when
play,
I say a team goes Super Bowl and doesn't make it, the comments go crazy. God forbid.
unfortunately, because Burrow is leaps and bounds.
Yes.
better than
You want to
Goff.
hear something coincidental? I was in a Madden league in 2019. And in that offseason, we're drafting our players. I picked the Bengals. This was when Joe Burrow was not a highly named prospect in the league. He was a 3rd round pick. I picked him with the 3rd round pick, and I made the Super Bowl with the Bengals
Damn.
in his rookie season.
And that's also not fair to Goff because he was number 1 overall pick. He had a great season that year. The Rams just gave him the bag. Everyone was looking at Goff like a top 10 guy.
And just didn't live up to it, unfortunately.
He's
Who
still.
would have saw it coming though?
I mean,
Joe
you can
Flacco. Except
argue.
Joe Flacco won.
You can argue he was a top 20 quarterback last year.
Yeah.
I would say like
fiscal season.
15 to 20.
Teddy
Like,
Bridgewater or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Disagree.
That's not even a question.
I
It's
agree.
close.
It's
They're
Teddy
the
Bridgewater.
same tier. You
Yeah,
know, they're both guys
low-key
that
the exact same quarterback.
yeah, like they're both guys that are just not going to elevate you, but they'll make you respectable.
Yeah, except Jared Goff, unfortunately, only won 2 games last year.
On a much worse team.
That team was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Man,
Not gonna
I
disagree.
hate this quarterback as a win stat crowd.
That's rich coming from you.
So rich.
I don't even count wins when I evaluate quarterbacks.
This guy's gross.
Oh God.